Good afternoon. Today again we are in the studio of Manas Media, and we are three here, Dr. Chimanova, Professor Carlson, and me, and we have a student from English Language and Literature Department, Aizirek Abdullasova. Before going into our discussion topics, this program is going to be the last program before the last. We're almost at the end of this semester, and we're going to have another program maybe next week or the other week. But first of all, we are going to discuss these issues here in this program. First of all, we are going to have an overview, a quick overview of what we have done so far and what we have achieved or not. And then maybe in some other programs we're going to discuss in detail. But today we're going to discuss integrating the feature movie program into the overall syllabus or curriculum in the departments, and then a new topic and a new issue by Professor Carlson, the role of the background music in setting the tone of movie and what is the role of that and the effect, right?
Yes.
And first of all, thank you for being with us again, and I would like to ask Aynazik to introduce herself very briefly.
Okay, hello, my name is Aizirek Abdullasova, and I'm a student of
Did I say
English
Aynazik?
language. Aizirek.
I'm sorry, Aizirek, right.
Okay. I'm a student of English Language and Literature Department, and I like my profession. I will be a future teacher of English language, and I'm very glad to stay here with you and discuss the theme and about movies, because it helps us in future, how can I say, to improve our language at first, and also to be a good listener. Maybe, yes, also with the help of these movies, I improved my pronunciation or something like that. So I never regret to participating. Okay, and
You're a full-time student, huh?
yeah.
In watching the movies.
Yes,
So did you watch all the movies?
yes. I tried to not miss, and so I was, yes, I didn't
You're
miss.
second grade, right?
Yes, I want to say thanks for all of you.
Thank you very much. Having thanks from the students is wonderful, right?
Of course.
We appreciate you just join us with the movies. And I'll ask some other time during this recording. I'm going to ask some other questions. Now, thank you very much for just being with us here. First of all, Professor Carlson, what could you tell us what we have achieved so far? Just giving this project to our students for almost 11, 12 movies.
Yes.
As far as I know, yeah.
I think all the movies we chose were very, very good movies. Some won Academy Awards. The actors were all famous. Gone with the Wind is a movie that never dies.
It is your favorite movie, right?
One of my favorites.
I know that.
It's a real classic. So most of the movies were chosen, I think, with some care, with some purpose. They're all clear. Some had dialects. Some. So the students could hear different dialects, different regions of the world. Perhaps one of the problems was that it's impossible to show a complete movie in one session. Sometimes a movie is too long. The students have to wait a week to see the completion. So I think in the future it might be best to show the complete movie in one session and maybe have the second session for a discussion.
Discussion, right?
Mhm.
But some
Rather
of the
than
movies
wait a
are very
whole
long.
What?
Some of the movies are more than 2.5 hours or 2 hours.
Yes, yes.
So
Need to be divided, but really be better to show them, if possible, in one session. Because sometimes the students go, the same students don't come back, so they miss the
well, we still
sequence.
have attendance problem.
Yes, yes. But I think that overall the movies were very effective, and students enjoyed them, and I think they learned something, new vocabulary, expressions, different actors. Example, Audrey Hepburn, who starred in the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's,
Tiffany,
well-known actors, has a beautiful voice, beautiful English. And it was really a pleasure to hear
You're a
her.
fan of classical movies, huh?
Yes, yes, yes. So I think there was some benefit, and there was a message in all the movies.
Yeah, thank you very much. And as far as I know, and you have also mentioned that we didn't have just quite a few students, right? And they missed, and they didn't participate in the movie sessions.
Right.
The attendance was a big problem.
Tennis was a problem.
Maybe because of the time that we chose. I mean, we show
Yes.
the movie.
Yes.
And next time or next year or next coming years, we have to discuss on that. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Well, that leads to the question, should they be on the curriculum? They shouldn't be extracurricular, but
yeah, but it's in the
in the syllabus, if you-
it shouldn't be extracurricular activity. You
right,
say.
they should receive credit, for
Yeah.
attending the movies.
First of all, we have to just and convince them the use of the movies, advantage of the movies, the department staff, right?
Yes,
Yes.
the
And
department
then we
staff has to.
just
yes.
go with an offer, and then they can just we just tell them, hey, could you please include our movie watching session, this project, into our syllabus or curriculum, right?
For example, in the translation department, they could be used for exercises, translation exercises.
It should be, yeah.
Someone sitting in the booth translating the captions, or
No need for the book, maybe the microphones and some of the earphones. That's enough.
this is excellent
Yeah.
exercise, and it's simultaneous translation.
Yeah,
It's what they
simultaneous,
want.
and also as
what
well
they
as
exactly
as
want.
well as subtitle translation.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Carlson and Dr. Chimanova. You have been with us for all time,
Yes.
even though you come late. Okay, what do you think about that what we have achieved so far, what we haven't in this project? I mean, not in terms of your department only,
Okay.
both departments.
So I think after Isaac, I just want to follow your idea that it was really enjoyable to watch movies with you, with students. And I think that I'm sure that every movie was some kind of contribution into students' improvement, maybe not just from linguistic point of view, but also some psychological, because I think that most of films really, they are really meaningful. Some of them are classic, psychological, historical, and of course, still I insist on including this into curriculum.
Yeah,
What's the
Your
procedure?
You know, the problem, I think, attendance, and maybe I just suggest maybe thinking over some motivating ideas for next year. How can we just attract students?
What is the procedure for inclusion in the curriculum? Does it have to go
It's a
through
long-
the Senate?
it's a long
Senate,
time.
the
It will be-
Senate?
Senate.
It will take a
it's
long
going to be
time.
set in the Senate, and then also some of the regulation from Kyrgyz
Ministry.
Ministry.
Ministry, yes.
So it
there
could be
are
a
a lot
long
of
process.
It
process.
can-
It takes more than 6 or I'm sorry, more than 3 or 4 months. It is not enough to just to be approved by Senate. And if it is that so, it's no problem. But
So you have to
Takes time.
draw up a proposal first and then
yeah,
present it to the,
yeah. But first of all, we have to just we have to find out and write down the contents of the
Outcomes.
the project. It's not a
Yes.
project. It is the course with credit. But we have to write down, and it should be with credit or without credit. Or we have to discuss that maybe next program, right? Before
yes.
before we close.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, anyway, just I think for next year, if we are going to continue this activity, I think that, I don't know, maybe some kind of advertisement or some other motivating ideas.
We can do
This,
that.
I think
But
this is a good
we-
idea.
posters.
as-
Postures, yeah.
We started out with personally. I mean, individually.
Yeah.
And we didn't publicize that very much so far. But the only thing that I would like to emphasize here, some of the staff at our departments don't pay much attention to what we have done so far.
I know.
We're not playing a game here, right?
You're right, yes.
Exactly.
We're doing something very special, and we're doing something very academic.
Yep, yep.
And all around the world, as far as I know, because I have worked teaching language with the movies for the last 11 years, I know the literature, so there are a lot of people around the world using this technique and using the movies, visual things, and using some of the dramas,
Yes.
whatever.
Some departments have courses in movie,
Of course, yeah.
history of movie, history of
See,
motion
and,
picture, cinematography.
and thanks to technology, we have a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
to be used in the classroom or out of classroom. Not, I mean, both extracurricular activity or included in the curriculum. Anyway, we can discuss. We have to just tell them what we have done so far. We're going to try to tell them, right?
Yes, of course.
And it should overlap with other classes, because that prevents some students from coming.
Yeah, this time
It has to be
it's
scheduled.
overlapping.
It has to
Yeah,
be scheduled. but-
yeah, because it is not scheduled. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to ask you the question, very general question, because I used to ask many students over here, what, from the beginning to the end so far, as far as I know, you have just joined in our sessions, movie watching sessions, almost all of them, from the beginning to the end. And what do you think, or how do students just benefit from or take advantage of watching movies in your own experience and on behalf of your friends?
Okay. And experience. I have got a lot of experience. So, and the people and the students who are coming here they, how can I say, they at first they like the author, the actress, yes,
First of all, have you had any discussion among yourselves and with your friends
about
about the
movies.
movie? Why do you come here? Why do you watch that movie, those movies all week, every week at 4 o'clock on Wednesday? Why? Did you discuss that? Or have you had any kind of conversation
A
like
lot
this?
of most of films were historical, yes, movies, and so, but we have discussed only intern, yes, intern, because it's, I think it's more
The
contemporary.
intern, right?
The intern.
The
yes.
intern. Yeah.
The intern. So we have discussed it with friends because it's a very, how can I say, popular film among the youngest people. So, and also about Scarlet, yes, Gone with the Wind, because I like this film really. At first I didn't like so, but when I paid more attention to this film, I tried to understand something. Yes, so we also have discussed about Scarlet and the other movies also, but in general we didn't have a time to discuss it, really. But in our views among the friends, but I don't know in other students. So,
On a
but-
practical level, does the movie help increase vocabulary, for example?
Yes, because it was with subtitles, so
Do
we can
students
yes
use these?
we could write some words into the paper during the film. So yes, we increase our vocabulary.
And to listen to new dialects, different dialects?
Yes, also dialects is very yes. And during the film, you were also how can I say, asking, did you understand or not? You were saying some vocabulary also, and we catch it all of them.
By the way, we wonder that. What is the use of, or did you find it very useful to get the handouts? Or just a piece of paper? Because we spent a lot of time on it.
Did you work
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
questions at home afterwards?
Really,
They said
I did some of-
FBI
some of
question,
this
okay?
FBI question. But I appreciate all of you that you made, and yes, with great deal all of this. And I also made copy, and I want to try did it at home. But yes, I had a lack of time, so I promise you
For the
did all of them at home.
Students could keep these handouts and refer to them from time to time to refresh their memories about the film.
about the characters,
Characters.
about the main idea.
The plot.
I mean, if these activities and this project is included in the curriculum, we don't need to give the handouts, but we're going to just give them quizzes and
Examination,
exams and
Yes.
midterms and finals, right?
Yes.
So this time we are just trying to get used, I mean, to get them used to just see beforehand watching the movies, to read the starring artists, I mean actors and actresses, and synopsis, and some other activities. So I think we couldn't make that very effective.
Still think
Because
we
of-
need to identify the different
Yeah.
expressions, vocabulary on the handout. This is probably the useful part of it.
I think it's going to be a spoon feeding, right?
Yes.
To give them the handout.
Spoon-fed education.
Spoon feeding education, right?
Spoon-fed.
Spoon fed, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you very much, and wait for our next questions. Okay, Professor Carlson, you suggested here to discuss for today the role of the background music in setting the tone of the movie. And I can add something if you don't mind.
Please.
Every time in the movies and from the modern movies nowadays, they don't have a very classical music. They use some kind of music and effects, I mean musical
Right.
effects.
Right.
And I think you mean that in some movies, which are specific to soundtrack, right?
Soundtrack.
Yeah, and you mean that.
Yes.
What could
I
you
think-
tell us about it so we can just add your ideas?
Some movies are identified from the music, the background music. I think they have a live orchestra playing with a conductor who is simultaneously with the speech. As the movie is projected on the screen and the orchestra plays, and the mood changes in accordance with the mood of the actors. If it's a somber mood, then somber music. If it's sad music in a minor key, happy music in a major key, lively music, slow music, for example, for death. And all this was brought out by Richard Wagner in his operas. Each character had a motive. Each figure in the opera has his own motive. In Parsifal and Tannhäuser, all these operas, this sort of maybe started with Wagner. The tone, the motive of the film. For example, in Gone to the Wind, the music, da da da, da dee, da da. This is the plantation. This identifies the plantation, home, going home, and the music identifies this. So I think the music has a significant role in setting the tone of the different scenes of the movie. And also, in language teaching, music could be used to, students could sing these songs that come out at the movies. Some of the movies are identified because of a particular song, like Titanic, like Moon River and Breakfast at Tiffany's. You hear the music and you think of the music of the movie. You think of the actor who sings
Even
it.
though you forgot about the movie, but you
Right.
remember the music still,
Yeah.
right?
Remember the music. Students could learn these songs at home and then sing along with the as they sing in a movie. And this is a good exercise, and it increases their ability to connected speech, connect words to other words.
I'm sorry about that. Can we combine the using of the music and the songs in the movies as part of which we tried first, right? As
Yes.
part of the curricular activity in the movies, as part of the exercises.
Yes, yes.
So it's also possible. We can just. I think, as far as I remember, you just gave one of the
I gave
examples.
Moon River, for
Yeah,
example,
that's right.
on the handout, the words. And then the students,
I mean, what I would like to suggest here, in some of the modern movies, there is no a single song,
right, there's just music.
just music and
yes.
soundtrack. I
Yes.
mean, no verses.
Right.
Just the music, right?
Just the music, just the soundtrack.
And yeah,
Uh-huh.
see, remember what was the name of the movie? 007. It was Detective movie.
Yes.
There's on the soundtrack or no.
It was still soundtrack, but the music went along with the mood of the scene.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Dr. Chimano, what do you think about the same issue?
Music, I think it is really a significant part of our life, and it is really good, let's say, additional, how can I say, material in movie session. And I just want to remember about Moon River. I heard it 2 weeks ago, yes, approximately, yes.
But you
and,
remembered it.
Yes,
You remembered
still melody is in my mind,
Yes,
you know.
yes, exactly.
Really, melody.
So you remember the melody?
Melody, yes.
You don't remember the movie?
I remember the movie, yes, of course, but you know, really, music, it is a really great idea.
And how she phrases, her phraseology, phrases, how the words flow into other words, sounds flow,
Melody, yes.
Moon River, you know,
Yes.
like a, you know, I mean, language is music, music is language.
So you put in your
Message.
handout the words from this song, yes?
Yes, yes, yes.
And if you just give them the students, the music as a homework, as an assignment, and they won't do that probably, they will listen to music and then
Yes.
just carry out the other things and going on.
Has
But
to be done in the movie session.
yeah,
I
in the
think
movie
itself.
session maybe, and it should be done lively, right?
Yes,
And-
live.
Yeah. And what do you think about using the movie music and the songs?
Yes,
And do you
especially-
think, in terms of watching movies, do you think it's going to be helpful for students to like the movie, to watch the movie, to come to the movie, to come to the movie theater, and to attend the movie?
Yes, also about
I ask many questions.
yes. Yes, about music, yes, it's very, very important for us. For example, let's take Titanic, yes. The Titanic, with the help of this music, it was very colorful, very
Emotional, huh?
Emotional, yes, very, yes.
Celine Dion.
Impression, yes, Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. Yes, especially with the help of this song, we can show the love between Rose and Jack. Rose and Jack also.
Oh, you still remember the names?
Yeah, of
Oh.
course, because Titanic is a very.
I only
From
remember
my
Titanic
childhood, I know. Yes, the music also.
and the
we
men
had-
flying.
We had also sang several times and at classroom. And so about music also, about, let's say, horror films, yes. Horror films also, it's not interesting without horror music. So it gives us some kind of, yes, great emotion, feelings. So for me, it's very important. Because let's take the how can I say, the actors is going somewhere, yes, in horror film, but it's in dark place, yes. But
Horror
if there
movies.
is not a music, he will just ordinary, yes, or how can I say?
Yeah, but horror movies will have horror music.
Of course.
So
like
they're gonna
dun,
change the music.
dun, yes.
But
I
no
think
no
so.
verses, no verse in the movie. You're not going to have any song, just the music.
Horror movies.
Music, song,
The
also, why
soundtrack.
not? Yes.
Another way. I mean, this is going to be my last question for you today.
Okay.
And
Keep one question, I will answer.
Oh, really? Good. This is not an exam, or exam. We always ask our students who came down here.
Okay.
And do you think that we show the movie with subtitle or without subtitle?
I think with subtitles. Yes.
With subtitle.
At first with subtitles, but next year, okay, without
Well,
subtitle.
maybe every
Yes.
other movie. One
How about one movie is with subtitle, the other one without subtitle?
following week.
Alternatively, I mean,
Especially for me, I want to watch with subtitles at first.
did you read subtitles?
If
You read
Yes.
them as they.
You read subtitles, right?
Read subtitles, yes.
Did you miss any scene when you read?
I try to read all of them, but
But when
if-
when you read on the screen,
Okay.
could you also follow the scenes?
yes, my first. I
Really?
read
With one of
subtitles
with one of
first.
your eyes, you read the subtitle, and then with one of the other eyes, you just watch
I think
the
that
scene, huh?
ability develops.
I try to do something. Yes,
I think
in
that
order to
develops.
understand film also.
I think that
Catch the
develops.
words.
The more movies you see with subtitles, the more you will associate the subtitle with the scenery.
Good. Yes, as
as well.
Mr. Carlson mentioned, there are a lot of new vocabulary for us, new words.
Yeah,
and
but we
old
give
words
the
also.
vocabulary for hand.
And
That's
handout.
the handout is for that. Maybe next time we have to discuss. I mean, next year we have to discuss with subtitle or without subtitle, because it has some advantages and disadvantages, as I believe. But I'm personally against subtitle.
All the movies I
Next
bought,
year without
incidentally,
subtitles.
the movies I
Next
brought
year
from
without-
Germany, all these movies have subtitles in Turkish as well,
Really?
because there are quite a few Turks in Germany.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. Anything to add? Final remarks for today?
No, I think it's been a very useful session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today again. And today we are at the end of our session for this week. We discuss similar topics, similar subjects, and with similar sentences, I believe. And we're trying to find solutions, to find some ideas, new ideas, insights in using the feature movies in our language teaching departments, which means the language and literature department and translation and interpretation department. For next movie session, we say goodbye to you, and thanks to Manas Media again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.